So now these teams have caught up to you, and that's why Schalke are suddenly losing a lot of games. They look like a relegation team.
They do, and it doesn't help that in recent weeks they really just genuinely look tilted in-game when you look at the player cams and like Sprattel just kind of suiciding at level 1 yesterday. Like, things aren't just going well for this team.
And we do have bans, even though you guys can't see them. We are hiding them.
Yep.
But it is MrRalleZ, Elise, and Jax on the side of G2. Pulse, do you want to take Schalke's?
Indeed I can. Nidalee and Karma so far from Schalke. We are waiting, as you can see, the timer, which you can see. Waiting for that one as the final ban. But Jax aimed at Steave. And Olaf will be the final ban. Being banned a lot, being picked a lot as well on 6-14.
Yeah, so Shen is available as a potential first pick. But in this meta, guys, there is nothing you have to 100% lock in. You apparently cannot even see the picks. So now we can actually tell you Teemo has just been locked in.
Whoa! Is that a Karthus? No, I'm kidding.
No. Wait, does he even exist? I haven't seen Karthus since.
No, I know. We've
like,
actually seen a Teemo recently.
Hey. We're like, nerf him. No one plays him anyway. Let's nerf him again. And no one's seen him ever since.
Yeah. So we still have Champions League going on. You just can't currently see it. So we're going to do a radio cast now.
Yeah.
First pick was that Trundle coming in for G2 so far. And
if we hadn't like trolled around with the picks, I think Trundle would have been one of the predictable ones. Something G2 has done before, just because it's a really good flex pick. You can take it top, you can take it support, and actually counters a lot of the current meta picks.
Yeah.
So if you play like Shen top, well, you can take Trundle into it. If you play Aurelia top, you can take Trundle into it. If you play Braum support, well, you can pick Trundle into that as well. So it's a good flex pick, very safe pick that also works well against a lot of the common picks. I like to see Sivir here coming in as a first rotation pick. I think Sivir is super good right now. But maybe Steave want to show something in the top lane.
Yes, he does. Fiora are also super good right now. Yesterday was undefeated. So it will be picked up by Steave here. Don't break the record. Don't ruin the stat. And now Gilius will also pick up the Rek'Sai. So that's in the first rotation. Does leave up the Sivir we were just talking about.
100% pick rate for Sivir. Won a lot of the games as well. Really is a power pick at the moment. Obviously even better when there's a Karma. So I think Zven is going to take it now. There we go. Trust in the Danes. Trust in the Danes to pick the right champions. So Sivir getting locked in. No real surprises. Trundle first pick, we talked about it. Gragas, fantastic jungler when there are obviously like Nidalee and Elise and Olaf removed. So suddenly you have like this. You actually have like a 5-6 jungle pool right now where Nidalee is kind of the queen. And then underneath it's Elise, Rek'Sai, Gragas, Olaf, all very, very strong, but just a different role.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you ban 3 of them away, it becomes pretty predictable which 2 junglers remain. So that is locked in from G2. And now they're going to play Lucian, surely, for MrRalleZ against this Sivir. That's a bit of a no-brainer. You guys can't see it in case he's actually hovering it. But I did say it before he hovered it.
Yeah. Well, and now you can look super smart as well. Because you can just say, I think there's going to be an LCS pick up here.
Not bad. Here we go back to radio casting here. It is actually traditional shoutcasting. It was without anything on screen. Well, the game was on screen, but you could hear the casters then. You would never see them. So LCS has been locked in for Sprattel, and Lucian, as we talked about, been locked in for MrRalleZ because it is the traditional counter pick to Sivir at the moment. So it's a lot of counter picks in every role. Mid lane has a lot of counters, top lane has a lot of counters, AD carries their counters in this current meta, but a lot of champs are very balanced.
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing right now where you're like, bonkers, you gotta get rid of that every time, except maybe MrRalleZ. But that's it.
Someone's going to screen cap that into a soon GIF, I know for certain. But Alistair, what's your thoughts on Alistair currently? Because Crepa had some thoughts early on today talking about like build paths, but he's definitely come back in recent weeks.
Always liked it against Sivir because you can combo and Sivir can't spell shield. Because if she doesn't spell shield early enough, she gets headbutted, which means she's like flying in the air and then you can kill her after. So you can't really delay it when you do double combo. And if you spell shield instantly, she blocks the headbutt or just the damage and you get knocked up anyway. So that is pretty effective. But yeah, it's come in as a hard engaged support pick. Obviously, the new build path makes him better. But a lot of teams also just join into lane stops very, very often. Right now, Ryze is being hovered. You guys can't see it from Schalke. It is a champion that's been reworked again for the 100th time, I guess.
But this time, maybe he's not good, because in solo queue, he is not doing so hot. But what we do know for certain is G2 have locked in Vladimir and Tahm Kench. So mithy saving that one until the end, but it could go into top lane for expect. They have Trundle as well. Vladimir will definitely go in the middle lane.
Yeah, definitely. You can actually take Tahm Kench top here if you want. You can technically still flex both of them.
Yep.
Both supports also does fine into Alistar. Alistar is not a super strong laner. Against Vladimir, though, we often see Kassadin or Cassiopeia as the 2 counter picks. to it. Right now, Schalke is locking in the Kassadin. So, again, don't feel like there were big surprises, except maybe the Alistar. Maybe Alistar's a little bit of surprise, but this is a traditional 1-3-1 composition from Schalke. Fiora in the top lane, Kassadin as well in the mid lane, who moves to the other side lane, and you have fantastic snowballing potential.
I'm just going to read off these compositions, and you can't currently see it on screen. We had the Tahm Kench going into the top lane here that has been locked in. Gragas, Vladimir, Sivir, and Trundle in from G2. And then, as you just mentioned, the Fiora. Also the Rek'Sai in the jungle. Kassadin mid lane with Lucian and Alistar in support. So, couldn't get on your screen, so apologies for that one. But you'll see it soon enough.
Blame the casters.
Yeah, it's all our fault.
We normally have to manually type them in.
That's true. That's our other job. We have to talk at the same time while doing all that. But no, we should be getting into this one very shortly. Luckily, the players and the game, it's all good.
Hopefully. If you guys can't see the game either, we will still cast over it and make it super exciting.
The camera will just be on us, and we'll do that good old radio cast. But coaches shaking hands, getting ready for this game one, sitting off in the sidelines, watching their teams.
It's what they do.
It's what they do, and then they'll be talking to them.
And apparently they eat ice cream as well, like Yamato did in the last game.
Yeah, I need to find out if he got a second one, because he was almost done by like 5 minutes in, man. He raced through that ice cream.
It's a big mouth.
Yeah, Tahm Kench also has a big mouth.
He
That's
does.
been drafted by G2. Look at that transition. Bring it back on the transition.
There was a swap here. Trundle actually went top lane, and Tahm Kench has gone support. We talked about it. Both of them could technically go top lane and support in this. I think it's another smart pick and ban phase from G2, where they have so many options, and it's really hard to then counter everything because they keep swapping around.
Indeed, they had down to 20 seconds, and they swapped up at the very last second. But as you can hear from the crowd, we are getting into game finally between G2 and Schalke here for the first game between them in this best of two. G2, of course, the favorites in this one by a large margin, but Schalke looking to fight back.
At least we hope so. I like 1-3-1 comps. Pause. I think right now they're very, very strong, mainly due to a lot of the picks in the meta because they've been nerfs like Azir and Victor. So we used to see just control mages every game, and it was 1-4 compositions with control mages stuck in the mid lane. But because they got nerfed, and also then suddenly they could get counterpicked a little bit easier by things like Kassadin, well then it's kind of moved Victor and Azir out of the meta slightly, and now it opens up for a lot of different picks. Cassiopeia, Kassadin, Vladimir. Well, Vladimir's always been here. Malzahar came in because of his rework as well. Yeah. So I really think the current mid lane meta, while Perkz
says the opposite.
He says it's very boring and nothing is going to happen.
Very passionate about that.
It's very, he really does not enjoy the current mid lane. I think there is definitely room for a lot of snowballing from your mid lane champions. I think especially when you play stuff like Kassadin, a good early game for your team, from your team, sets you up for a side lane, split push for basically 20 minutes, where you can win the game.
I mean, we've seen really, really cool plays coming in from mid laners, and indeed Perkz, but he just generally finds the champions boring, which is surprising, because like, Vladimir is a very dynamic kit now.
He just wants Zed back.
Yeah, he just wants assassins, I mean.
But Zed...
Bring back Zed.
Poor Zed.
Bring back LeBlanc.
Nerf. Sprattel tried this yesterday.
It didn't go so well.
It was on a Janna, though. He's a little bit tankier now. Problem is, whenever the enemy jungler already hits level 2, he gets obviously access to a little bit more CC or damage. Yeah. So when you're at this level 1 support, oftentimes they like to just turn around and kill you if you stay for too long. This time around, he was just checking what was going on. Not cool enough to join the party.
Keystones, nothing really out of the ordinary. Thunderlord's Cow. Further, yeah, pretty much standard coming out of pretty much everyone in this game. Do you have a lane swap to start up?
Strength of the Aegis from Perkz. Get a bit more HP here. Could have been true. Storm Raiders. Something we see quite often when you run Ghost as well. One of the funny arguments I saw when Riot announced the changes for the next patch with their lane swap. People were like, damn, you're killing Strength of the Ages now on laners? How dare you? I'm like, guys, we see it like what, once every 20 game, and it's not even like game breaking or game changing. It's not even that strong.
Sometimes on supports, sometimes on Vladimir's. But yeah, it's not like it's just destroyed the meta game.
It was definitely not where my brain went when I saw the change. I'm like, oh yeah, that one keystone. Ah, damn.
It's just because someone has some like crazy cheese and solo queue where they run like Strength of the Ages. It's like, damn, destroyed. I was really sad about the Leona nerf to base damages. But you just get extra damage on ultimate now. The new passive ruined mid lane Leona for me.
Was it ever a thing?
It wasn't my Elo. Good old Diamond 5 retirement home.
The retirement home
Yeah.
for casters is Diamond 5. If you ever want to be a caster, just get into Diamond 5. Never get a buff. Stay in there. We don't want people getting cocky or anything.
That's true.
No, you
Also
stay
very
Diamond
difficult
5.
to drop out, which is the best thing.
Yeah, definitely. I had to play like one game recently because otherwise I would actually drop out of it.
Yeah.
I was decaying out. It was like, warning, please, you have 7 days, play one game. And I did, and I won, so it was great.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Good.
Carried the entire
Got that
game.
one on lockdown. Not shooting for challenges, but the Fisher.
Not this split. I mean, it's hard to cripple already in there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would always be competing against him.
He's already taken a spot now, so I mean that just reduces the chance of even more. Right?
Exactly, yeah. He's actually filling that spot.
Nothing to do with like skill level.
No. Also, like, with the amount he talks about being in Challenger, I feel like we don't need me there as well doing the same. You guys would just
You don't want to
really
be
annoying.
that guy.
No, you don't
right,
want to be
who's
that
like,
guy.
right, yeah. I
In
get
your
that.
face all the time. Anyway, lanes up, on the boards. Surprise, surprise. No one is dying. They're just TPing.
Yeah, I mean, is a lane swap differential. I want to look towards like mid game though. That's really where things will start to heat up. How do you think Schalke are going to win this game? Is it going to go through the mid lane, or through the mid game, or through the mid lane with Fox?
Well, basically, 2 items on Steave and your Cassidy, and suddenly Schalke can take over side lanes and actually have full 1v1 pressure if you get Steave ahead. So I think a lot of it, once we get into standard lanes, after these towers have gone down, if we get the 1v1 between Steave and obviously Expect, we can see a lot of focus around that lane. If you get an advantage on Irelia, on Fiora, she can really survive. So I honestly believe on 3 items, she can 1v1 anything.
Yeah.
So if you get it to that point, you win that one lane. If you get the Cassidy to the same point, he links the other side lane. Problem is your pure team fighting right now as Schalke in the mid game is not very strong. It is honestly pretty bad compared to what a Vladimir can offer.
Right.
So G2 is looking to obviously 1-4 way more and actually just try and get fights around objectives. Because you see, they don't have a comp that's gonna siege with Vladimir. No. They have a composition that wants to set up around a dragon, a baron, and then just take the team fight, hard engage with the Gragas, follow up with Vladimir with Ghost, and win these fights. So Schalke definitely. Man.
You don't see that very often, that combination.
Did he actually get it?
He did, yeah. He
stole
it, devoured, and just spat it out into lane, and that was enough damage. Yeah. Completely destroyed. And that's one of those rare opportunities where that combo is actually really useful.
Instant tilt. As
Instant
a
tilt, yeah. What's it going to do now?
He worked so hard for that Grump. You smite on it,
Yeah.
use the last 5 seconds, and then the
At least he got the buff.
stupid support shows up.
Gift of the Toadstool.
Eats it. Good for Mithy. Always great as a support to get just a little bit of extra experience, because in a lane swap you tend to get almost nothing.
So nowadays we don't really hit the item builds too much early, but Gilius has picked up a Tiamat to start off the game. So what are your thoughts?
So this is actually something I've seen over in LCK a few times. I wouldn't say all the time, but a few times, where you don't instant upgrade your jungle item and you don't instantly go sidestone, but you put focus on being stronger in the early game in terms of duels, but also just do a clear speed. And you just power farm, because in this game, Gilius is against the Gragas. Gragas is not going to kill the Rek'Sai in the early game, so you're trying to match farm with farm, and then you try and use that to scale into late game, but also see if you can put some pressure on the Gragas in the start, because you have a bit of extra damage now with Tiamat, obviously compared to going just pure Cinderhole, gives you almost no extra damage. So this is actually something I've seen a few times before, but a lot of Rek'Sais. Quite boring. You're like, nah, Sidestone, Cinderhole, go Tragger's Knife.
Just go tank.
Straight into Cinderhole, just go straight tank. He doesn't have to go Titanic now. He can actually keep it at Tiamat and then start building normal.
Right.
And just use the Tiamat for extra clear speed and a little bit more dueling potential.
See if that pays off early. We'll be tracking Rek'Sai through the first couple of minutes. Mid lane, Fox versus Perkz. I mean, Cassidy versus Vladimir. This is what you were talking about in Champions League. Usually you see like a Cassidy pickup or a Cassiopeia pickup. He's going to jump on top of Perkz though. Decent amount of damage.
Yeah, and Vladimir will always push down the Cassidy first 5 levels, because Cassidy can't do anything. Once you hit level 6, you can start trading. So you can see the lane shift a little bit in terms of pressure. Once you go Spirit Visage on Vladimir, though, you're not going to die. It's more just like Cassidy can actually jump you. We're still in a lane swap, guys.
Yeah.
Side lanes are still pushing in. They have traded tier 2 towers They might do it again. And just keep taking down earlier objectives. Schalke are trying to rush towards 2 items on these carries. So getting a lot of global gold is great. But what happens in the next 10 minutes if you suddenly find yourself unable to farm lanes because there's no towers to protect you? Well, then suddenly getting that farm can be difficult for your big carries.
That's been upset a little now because only Zven is in the bottom lane for G2, while Schalke pretty much all situated on the top side. MrRalleZ can just do a bit of chip damage to the tower. Gilius is taking away this blue buff, and let's see if G2 can contest. There's the TP coming into top lane, or the bottom lane rather, as Zven is pushing from the top lane from Steave. And that will stop that push as well.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about matching there for G2 and stopping the push is that you tend to force a TP. Because the enemy team has invested everyone on top side. Trick might get caught out.
On Trick, Gilius gets a knockup. RalleZ is chasing after. Oh, he's going into a bottleneck. He flashes in a straight line. Culling will pick up first blood from MrRalleZ.
Tiamat Rek'Sai paying off. Sprattel.
Combo in from him, but
fakes it.
Oh, Hemo Plague, Tides of Blood. Gilius is coming in with the help of RalleZ. This will disengage the fight.
This will not kill the Alistar, but Trick went down. As you said, he flashed in a straight line. But also face check straight into a Lucian and a Tiamat Rek'Sai. Took a ton of damage. You can see this trading. Now the Kassadin is not afraid of the Vladimir anymore. Vladimir doesn't have insane amount of damage when you go Spirit Visage as the first item. Just even better sustain. I've actually seen certain Vladimirs shift the build. Go Abyssal first item and just skip Spirit Visage completely. You go Abyssal into RalleZ. Just for a little bit more power in the early game. Not today.
Not today. But really that is just 101 of League of Legends. Never dodge in a straight line. Remember...
I think a certain character in Game of Thrones could learn something from that as well. Without spoiling anything specifically. But if you run in a straight line, I'm sorry, you deserve it.
That's true. I mean, just do the zigzag, man. It's not hard.
It is really easy. Also, someone could have maybe yelled to him like, don't zigzag!
Run in a straight line!
Run to the side! No one did. No one did.
Or he could just luck up. I mean, that also helps, right?
Well, he technically didn't. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we can't spoil stuff now.
No, we're being vague. Yeah, it's been, yeah.
It could be anyone.
Exactly.
It could be anyone.
Sprattel walking down the river, looking for another roam onto Perkz. Last one, that didn't necessarily work out. Perkz is level 9 and he has Spirit Visage, so he's not going to die in a hurry. Someone just placed down another pink ward to delete the old pink ward as Alex was taking it away, but he probably wouldn't have died anyway because Perkz was defending it.
I like the play-by-play pink ward.
It is. That's one of those things you can do in solo queue though. You see someone taking your pink ward and you place down another one to deny that bit of gold. Look at that worth, the value.
Shows domination as well.
It does.
I have so many pink wards, I don't care. Put them anywhere I want. When you get enough money, you can just throw them around, you don't care.
I mean, the best tactic is to wait until it's 1 health away from dying,
and
then you take it away. Like, hey, where's my gold? There's just ways to tilt your opponent, just like taking away the Grump from Gilius earlier.
Or by having a very long lane swap that is technically still a lane swap despite them not pushing towers anymore, because there's been no laning in this game at all. No one has matched 2v2 or 1v1. You can see both top lanes went opposite sides. Steave is going to go pick up the wave on top side. Does mean G2 can put pressure mid, and this is what we talk about. G2 is the 1-4 composition. If they can sit together as a team, they're strong. Schalke, it's too early in the game to really start split pushing, and because Steave has been set behind from the lane swap as well, it really slows down Schalke and makes it very, very effective for G2 to opt into the lane swap in the first place and just keep trading until they knew, okay, now we can force a teleport, match what's happening. Infernal Drake has been alive for 12 minutes. It almost never happens.
Yeah.
When Infernal Drake is on the table, you almost try and rush it. Like, there used to be a strategy, Paul, back in Season 3. I believe it was actually Gambit who introduced it, where they would rush Dragon before even showing in lane. Because Dragon would spawn very early and it was so weak in the start, you would actually take it down like 2 or 3 champions. I don't remember if the jungle did 1 camp and then did the Dragon. But I remember playing against it like at the start. It's like randomly, no one is in the lanes. You just like get a few minions down and then they just run into lane from river. You're like, what happened?
Yep.
And then suddenly you realize that you took the Dragon.
Yeah. You didn't get an announcement back in those days.
You did not. And it was with counters. When Alex would play counters, they would actually do it, just spam Q on Dragon.
Lots of single target damage, yeah.
Yeah, it's something we don't see anymore. Also, you get an announcement, and if randomly no one shows up in your lanes,
hang on.
you're like, wait a minute. What could they do?
Yeah.
5-man jungle? Probably not.
Yeah, just clear out all the jungle camps. Yeah, not in this one. But this has been definitely a prolonged early game. And in terms of farm, everyone's pretty much the same as well. So, do you feel like this benefits Schalke? You were talking about Schalke wanting to get later into the game so they can power up their solo laners.
Yeah, I mean, definitely everything for Schalke where they don't fall behind early and get punished for having only Lucian wave clear is great for Schalke. Now mithy is trying to make a move.
Abyssal Voyage, he'll find
Sprattel.
I mean, he is level 6, but he's going to get gobbled up and spat back towards his team. Perkz is also closing in as well. Sprattel doesn't really have anywhere to go, and Zven is just kiting him around. He walks into Dragon. It was just annoyed to try and put a bit of damage down, but G2 are going to take it anyway.
And this is where Schalke makes some of these mistakes, and we see it quite often from them, where they're slightly overextending on the map, not respecting that you don't have to be in the river right there as a support. And then he gets collapsed on, and
yeah, easy Dragon.
I assume couldn't Sprattel have just splashed over the wall, like when he saw the Tom Kent ulti in the first place?
Probably.
He was right next to the wall anyway.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
I'm gonna go back so we don't.
He did save his flash there.
Yeah.
Oh, Steave, the TP has been disrupted, and he'll have to flash away by mithy, or from mithy. He was about to land the auto attack. I mean, that is the reverse Steave chant. I mean, he didn't do a good thing there, guys.
Yeah, this is going back to check. Yeah, Sprattel is right next to the wall. He could just flash over the wall and he would survive.
Yeah, and Gilius was there, man. Really weird.
Strange. Yeah. And Steave got interrupted as well in his recall. So I think it's gone a little bit wrong now for Schalke. And we should talk about how he was actually looking okay. They traded towers. They were able to farm. You know, Kassadin is sitting on a lot of ages now. He needs a second item. You have obviously your Fiora as well, trying to farm up. Expect he's only level 9. So is Steave. So these top laners are not very strong at the moment. That's why you just want to buy time, because against the Kassadin, you want to punch mid tower every time. So the problem for Kassadin, when he's really weak, and you push in the lane against him in the side lane, he's stuck in that lane for quite some time, and you just go 4-man mid, and then Lucian can't really do a whole lot with his very low range. And you just instantly pushed away, rushing to tower and chip away on tower.
Right.
And then eventually you will take it down while Kassadin is still sitting in that side lane, sipping his tea and doing whatever Kassadin decides to do. And you're not really afraid, like G2's doing right here. They're just rushing mid, push it in. Sadly for them, they didn't get any hits because calling was used, but then you can do it on the next rotation.
Yeah, 2 ultimates were burnt to defend that tower there. I feel like the Gilius tilt must be intensifying as another camp was taken away from him. This time, the Spec literally just walked up and chomped it to death, so.
Those invades done for the farming build.
Not really working out. No, he went for that team out first. Hasn't even got the Cinderhawk yet. He has the Balmy Cinder.
Can Schalke maybe TP on mid?
And Sprattel will engage, and Sprattel will back up. So no TP for now.
They're not strong enough.
Both of those solo laners actually converging on mid lane, just walking down there.
Because they pushed it past the river now. And you need mid lane control before you start pushing further towards the enemy towers. Then you need mid lane control first, but they couldn't get mid lane control before because they were 4-man to G2. So every team is just kind of waiting for the small chess moves. Steave is dying right now, guys.
One-on-one, but he's not doing so hard. Perkz will come in to try and assist. He'll dance around Expect, and that should be enough to keep him alive.
Oh,
and finish off Expect. Trick will stop him with the body slam. Not a range for the force pulse. Gilius comes in to try and kill the but he missed the Q. Now
he's still running
to try and defend. He's running for dear life, but Sprattel finds them. Thundercow finishes them up. A 1-for-1 trade.
But Zven just took bot lane tower because Expect survived for such a long time. Schalke couldn't TP mid, but they could TP top lane. Sadly for them, they trade 1-for-1 and lose the tower. Can they get more?
They've maybe found Zven in rotation. mithy is going to waddle to victory. Can he get out?
But now you're losing mid tower.
Coming in here. He's going to flash. Abyssal Voice. See you later, nerds.
And now mid tower goes down. Schalke just... No, wait!
Oh, he's still there.
He's baiting. He's baiting.
He's currently bait mid lane. Perkz is dropping low, but he has that Crimson Rush coming up, followed by the Tide of Blood, getting all that health back. Boomerang, he'll have to flash away from it. That would have finished him off on the second swing. Meanwhile, he's actually just trading off against Steave. He misses the tongue lash. He's going to exhaust him. He's Tam Kench is trading off against a Fiora, and now with the help of Trick, they should be able to finish him off. I mean, Trundle's now coming in for the fun. Lands the pillar, and that will be Trick finishing him off with the barrel roll. Oh, man.
Tam Kench, early Ruby Sidestone, 500 extra HP. Great HP as well against a underfarmed Fiora. Basically, mithy was staying alive forever. So this is a TP play, trying to force something if you're Schalke. I don't think they have to force anything here, but they are expecting to basically one-shot Expect. Steave is really weak at this point, gets destroyed by the Trundle first, so he can't chase further. Trick shows up, expect he's still alive. Probably like, what, half a second on the ability for the Kassadin, and he kills him. Gilius actually tunnels behind him as well.
Yep.
And meanwhile, 2 members on the bottom side from G2, just playing the simple game. Let the kids fight. Take it out.
Exactly.
I like this flash from mithy, and he actually only holds it down here, the river. He's still alive, he's still alive, look at him.
Now he's trading off against Steave, who isn't doing a lot of damage to him, honestly.
No, he's still 50%, but he has gray HP.
Yeah.
So he runs back, because Steave wants to join the fight up here. Then he realizes mithy is behind him, still chasing. And he eats him again. And Steave ends up going down. So while Schalke are not too far behind to win the game, it is certainly not easy for them
just
to get
these
back.
Small mistakes as well. These small, like, kind of hilarious plays when they happen, but are really bad for Schalke in the long run. Yeah, the Sprattel getting caught, Steave as well. But Sprattel did land that sick combo, the pulverize and the headbutt. That's really...
Is that a sick combo?
I mean, that is the joy. When you kill someone with it, that's the joy of Alistar. That's why I love AP Alistar so much, because the joy of just finishing someone off is so satisfying.
It is really hard to mess up the combo now after Riot.
Now you can buff it.
Yeah, Riot was so kind to help every Alistar player out there who couldn't do the combo.
Makes me sad, because before it had a little bit of skill to it, but now it's a true combo.
I agree. So if you're no longer able to do the combo, you should feel bad. Just saying.
It's actually probably impossible to mess up. I mean, if you just don't hit the key, then that can happen.
Or if you're so slow, you W, and then the time takes you to move your finger
if you only use one finger.
If you only use one finger, and you're really slow with that one finger.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, even if you use one, you should be faster than now with WQ. Then again, no one uses one finger to play. Like,
I'm sure there's
you
someone out there.
You have 4 fingers always on like Q, W, E, R.
Yeah. It's actually true. I actually use like 3 fingers on like QWE, and then I go to R with my index finger. I don't know if that's optimal though, if you want to do like an ER combo. Probably not. That's probably why I'm not good. 3 and 2 currently in this game.
Right now, a lot of people sitting at home being like,
it's like, wait a minute.
Well, I'm only using 1. What's wrong?
You can judge a player's skill by how many fingers they use. Fox is going to get called out by Perkz. He's got the Rise now, so he'll chase him down, Tides of Blood, and Transfusion. It's a Kassadin, so he'll Rift Walk.
But Perkz managed to push him away, meaning Cloud Ray.
Cloud Dragon hype.
First time I get to cast a new and buff Cloud Ray.
Another one coming up as well to Fishtail, and the next one will mean that they'll have 50 movement speed, which is more than having 3 on the previous patch.
Did you guys talk about how good the new Cloud Drake is just
We didn't go into specifics.
No?
Didn't have that many Cloud Dragons.
Okay, not into specifics. If you run from bot lane to mid lane, before it gave you a little bit of extra speed, you would reach the mid lane half a second faster, roughly. Now, it is 0.6 seconds faster you're going to reach that mid lane from the bottom lane. Massive buff.
Cheer for that one, guys.
Right there. Obviously, once you get more Drakes, it gets even better.
Yeah.
But the big one is when you run from Fountain, so when you recalled or you died, and you run back to the mid lane, you actually appear 2 seconds faster than the other guy. And that's enough for most champions to like clear the wave and then be ready to leave the mid lane and actually go impact somewhere else on the map. Yeah. So it is pretty big. I like.
It is. I mean,
first Cloud Drake is good. Second is much better.
And third is just mental. You get
third
so much speed.
But the problem is that you still kind of want Infernal Drake instead. Like,
yeah,
you
of course.
3 clouds, 1 of the Infernals.
There's less situation in which it's just amazing. Fox is going to try and Rift Walk to safety, but Perkz is putting so much damage down on top of him before that happens. He'll manage to juke him over the wall. Tam Kench, he's on the way. He finds Gilius, who actually comes into the fight. He's going to jump after Perkz. Actually, he's just trying to get to safety. He doesn't want to be tongue-lashed here. He's being slowed down by the RalleZ. A flash, another stack will slow him down, and the exhaust as well. MrRalleZ getting caught up in all of this action as well. He just walks in and instantly dies. Gilius will die.
Wait a minute. What? He had flash and heal and everything. Doesn't matter. Schalke didn't manage to survive the early game as we talked about. They needed time for Fiora and Kassadin to scale up, to take over side lanes. Well, as you guys can see right now, G2 didn't give them any time. No. I feel like Schalke forced things as well where they shouldn't have. Yeah. Played impatient, which has been a big weakness of this team.
Steve, run for your life. Okay, he'll flash away.
mithy's everywhere.
Yeah, he's the arch nemesis of Steave this game.
But can you give play of the game to a Tam Kench?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, he's done a lot. Like 004, he set up a lot of kills. He's been really disruptive. This was all set up by Perkz.
This was started by Perkz. This is what happens when a Kassadin is not ahead in winning side lanes against a Spirit versus MrRalleZ Vladimir. It's a pretty one-sided fight. Mithy shows up, forgot to bring a friend. Rest of G2 have to run to the top lane.
MrRalleZ saying, I'll be your friend.
MrRalleZ like, I will join G2. And then they kill him instead. So he was a terrible, terrible member. Yeah. Or G2 are terrible teammates, I'm not sure.
Maybe. I just don't know why you do that. But Schalke are making a lot of individual mistakes, and G2 are making a lot of proactive plays, and that's just resulting in a massive goal lead.
To be fair, Paul, we're not really surprised. We're #1 in our region, the great European region, is playing against a team who's been struggling for the last 3-4 weeks. We expect G2 to kind of have full control. Yeah, there can be a few fights here and there, but overall, G2 should always be in charge, and they are. Like, this game, Schalke have not really been able to do a whole lot other than that first blood. Everything else has always gone in favor of G2, one way or the other. So they are playing as expected, and it's something I really want to talk about now. I really like, I'm going to say our top 2 teams now, because Splice is in there.
Yep.
G2 and Splice have become a lot more consistent in the way they're playing. They're consistently making good moves, winning games, if you look at the last few weeks. And I even want to say like a team like, talk about after, now the Kassadin is...
Can he get away? He'll flash over the wall. Expector's coming after him.
No.
Chomp down.
Vladimir's coming.
Vladimir's
right the Rift Battler.
Oh, he's going into the pit. Does he have the Rift walk in time?
Jump.
He's trying to get over the wall. Makes it just in time. He's ticking down. Oh, Perkz will flash after him as well. You're not getting away from me, Box.
So the point. I'm going to say instead the top 5 teams versus the bottom 5 teams have actually become consistent in Europe. Like Giants, 2-0 Vitality, didn't really have any issues. H2K beat Vitality yesterday as well. You know, G2 are beating Schalke right now. So the top 5 teams become more consistent in beating the bottom 5, which is what we saw last split. And I think it's good. It shows that some of our teams have really improved a lot.
That's true. Decisive victories now.
Yeah, no one's like throwing it away.
This is your time to shine.
Come on, Gilius.
You need to get the steal. He goes
Stop
to the
your
2K.
failures. Steal it.
It's going down to 1,000. He's being knocked away. Trick will secure it. Down goes Gilius. Down goes the hopes of Schalke coming back in this game. Perkz is just on a rampage in mid lane. He's just going 1-on-2. And 7-2 in this game in total. I mean, G2 just all over this game this year.
Do we have any top lanes in this game? I guess they're both 0-1.
Yeah.
And then one has 1 assist and one has 4.
We've seen a lot of Steave getting 1v1 by TamKench.
That is fair. That happened. But I feel like both top laners never really even loaded into the game. Because they were in a lane swap for such a long time, they never got to one-on-one each other, so they never got to snowball against each other, and then it's just been like that fight in the mid lane, where Schalke were too weak because they had a Kassadin who had to farm up in the side lane, and G2 just wanted to play 1-4 to Vladimir Sivir. And it was very, very, very effective. So top lane has not really been impactful, can't blame them. Instead, we have G2 sieging on mid tower, G2 towards bot tower, and have super minions in top lane.
So, if you were Schalke right now, Deficio, and you're in this game, and it's not going well, we can't face them on equal terms, we can't even make 1-3-1 work. We're going into game 2. What do? Do you just go for a bit of Wendy there, a bit of cheese? You try and cheese them out? We're going to have a fight, so you can have some time to think about that question. And Schalke going to come in for the engage, but this isn't really a fight. This is just G2 running all over Schalke. Fox goes down, Steave died, Sprattel trying to get away and trying to limp back home, but he'll also go down. Gilius is trying to escape, and mithy is going aggressive, almost under the fountain. And G2 are just lucky to close up the game here.
Such a good game from G2, and a Trick, he wants to take down Gilius.
Had those stats.
Get the
KDA.
right
now. There we go. Make that 5-1-5. Good KDA to finish off the game. And the Nexus is falling. Sven's the only one on the Nexus, because G2 just want to make the highlight reel. G2 take a commanding victory over Schalke in game 1.
Almost too easy for G2. Lane swap went fairly even.